Hello, I have this blender here that is leaky. After blending, whatever you want to blend in this blender, you will notice that you have some leakages around this area. Sometimes you can see the leakages on this side of the blender. So I'm going to show you how to fix the issue. So the problem is actually from here. Something is off around this area. So let's fix this problem. So I'm going to set this aside. This is fine. The motor area is fine. I'm going to work on the jaw. So for this, I'm going to remove this here. So remove this pivot here, and so I'm going to spin. Alright, so what we're going to do next is to lose out this area. It leaks from this area, so we gently lose this out. Sometimes it can be a bit hard, so just apply a little pressure and you should be able to come off easily. So here is the pivot inside. This is what the pivot looks like. And so we keep this aside. So the reason why this is leaky is because of this area. You can see this area, some part on this area has eaten up, and that is why it is leaky. There is supposed to be a plastic, a rubber wedge around this area. A rubber wedge around this area. This metal, flat metal part is not supposed to be as loose as this. So because that plastic wedge has eaten out, that is supposed to act as a wedge between this hole and this other end. So this is going to be inside, while this is going to act as wedge this way. This is going to act as wedge this way. But over time, the wedge here has eaten up. So when the wedge has eaten up, this will not be able to stop the flow around this area. So what I'm going to do is to replace this. I'm going to replace the pivot and the problem will be solved. I'll get another pivot and we're going to fix the issue. So this is how it used to be inside. This is how it's supposed to be inside. So this is what it's supposed to look like inside. But over time, this, because of the way it spins, over time, the pivot inside here has eaten up. There's supposed to be a rubber inside this area. So the rubber in this area has eaten up. So once this begins to spin, especially when you're grinding things that anything that has liquid in it, once it begins to spin, it will flow out through this area. So what we want to change right now is just this pivot that controls the spinning. If you replace this, you've been able to fix the problem. You won't have any issue with this again. So I'm going to get another one this way, and then we're going to fix the problem. So you don't necessarily need to replace this. This is still fine. This is still fine as the problem is from here. So this is what it looks like. And then as it begins to spin, there is a tiny hole inside here, a tiny gap inside here. It will allow liquid to drip into that hole and then drip out through this other end of this hole here. And that is because there is a rubber here that is supposed to stop any liquid from coming from escaping through this area. That has eaten up over time. As it begins to spin over time, it has eaten up. As it begins to spin over time, that rubber around here has worn out. So replacing this again is going to fix the issue. So I'm going to go ahead and get another replacement I have for this. If you're having issues with getting this replacement, you can just check my comment section. There's a link there to where you can get the replacement for this, depending on the size of your own. So you have to check the size of yours, and the size will help guide you on the size of the new one that you're to get for your own. So I'm going to get the exact size for my own, and then we'll fix the issue. So it comes with different sizes, and it works with different model from Kenwood, Benetton, just depending on the kind of blender you have. So depending on the kind of blender you have, there are different models, but ensure that what you're getting is exactly the type that you remove from your own blender. So I'll go ahead and get this exact type. All right, so I have another one that I've gotten. This is what I'm going to be using to replace the older one there. So I'm going to fix in the replacement here. So I've been able to fix it, and I'm going to go with this. All right, so I have another one, brand new pivot inside. So I'm going to test this out. So let's get the motor. This is the motor for it, and then we'll fix our blender on it. So that this is so that has been able to fix the problem. If you notice that yours is leaking or it doesn't spin anymore, and you notice that the motor is spinning, and when you remove the cup over, you notice that this is spinning. You can see that this is spinning. If this is spinning, and when you put in whatever you want to put in inside here, it is not spinning the way you ought to, then the pivot inside might be the issue. So that is it, folks. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.